All right, everybody, we're back with another discussion. This time, big news hit Variety first. Now, everybody's reporting on it. Everybody's talking about this.
The internet is aflame, you could say.
Oh,
Apparently, Matt's troll from when Captain America 2 came out might be coming true.
Matt, your trolls are becoming real. You must only use this new mutant superpower for good and maybe a little
So,
profit.
it's only because he's Australian.
the big news here is apparently Robert Downey Jr. has renegotiated a new contract, which will put him as co-star of Captain America 3. And this will
Wow.
apparently be the Civil War storyline. Now, I think much like what everything else they're doing, I just want to say this out there. Obviously, they're taking big storylines. Age of Ultron. The comics that have name value.
Winter
like
Soldier,
Winter
yeah.
Soldier, right? And they're doing it. Now, I just want to start off as first reaction, and my first reaction is this sucks because the Winter Soldier is arguably their best movie, and giving half the spotlight to Iron Man when it's not his own movie, I just feel very it feels very to me. I almost feel disgusted by it.
You say that, but how many of our fans totally wanted
Hey.
Civil War, and how many of them are going to be super happy
Well,
to
see,
get
I'm one of the people that loves Civil War. Actually, I enjoyed it. That's the story comic for 616 that brought me back in.
Yeah, you and I are one of the few. I know people
Yeah.
have cooled on the actual Civil War storyline. And yeah, a lot of it is very Mark Millarian. All the heroes are dickbags to each other and need to be dickbags to each other for the story to work.
but like it wasn't. I don't think it's just everyone that wants him, like the fans. Even Feige, like the article I read said, Feige wanted RDJ in Captain America 3 for story reasons. And hey, if he wants him in there, he needs him in there. It's Feige.
Now,
Yeah.
I think this would lend more of a hand in, and my theory going into this, because I've been trying to think about how they do this for like the last 2 hours since it broke, right?
Of course.
Let's say obviously Tony Stark is responsible for Ultron.
That
It's
seems
going
to be
to
going that way.
It's going to weigh on him, and he starts this whole everybody needs to register. We need to know what you're doing because reasons. We don't want another Ultron incident.
Well, do you think they're going to go that way? Because, Civil War in the comics was, this big thing of, like, political ideology and secret identities.
Honestly, I think this is if they do this, that's when all the heroes with secret identities come out of the woodwork. They start being hunted down, right?
I could see that with the like they come out of the woodwork and hunt it down, but it could go where instead of just the secret identities thing, they want them to work for the government. You know what I mean?
See, I'm more inclined
That's
to
that.
believe that, especially after Winter Soldier, where Cap is trying to distance himself so far from the government and trying to be a one-man force for good.
And in Shield, like the government is against Shield right now, and they want like the government wants to be in control, and then
Right.
like they could do the whole thing where they want the heroes to work for the
So
government.
I think we all agree then, what if it's Shield is splintering with Captain America,
Oh yeah,
and he's, because Coulson is obviously going to take his side regardless.
of
Obviously.
course.
And
Oh,
that's
of
where
course.
the show takes place. And then, of course, you have Tony Stark siding with the government, being like, no, we need our own monitor division. Because I don't think you can take Civil War and apply it directly from the comic. I mean,
No.
look
No,
at
you
Age of
can't.
Ultron. If you were to take that comic and put it into a movie, it would be a fucking disaster.
That being
Plus-
said,
Yep.
they can come close because, again, their universe is getting bigger and bigger, and Civil War really is a great chance for them to flex their muscle and go, ooh, look how many characters we have, motherfuckers.
Right.
but also like after like Cap 3 starts Phase 3, and after that there's gonna be like Doctor Strange, Guardians, Daredevil, all of them, and it can affect them because like more heroes are like you're saying they're coming out of the woodwork. Well, yeah, because they're being made after. You know what I mean?
And do
Right,
you guys think this could be a potential, like, a whole long form story where every movie is part of this Civil War
Yeah, well,
building
that's
it up?
what one of the articles I read said. It said
Yeah,
it's going to take place over several years.
I'd like
I think that was Faraci, and he was saying that,
That
it's
was,
basically going to end up around Avengers 3, and they're going to like split. I guess everybody's just going to go their own way, like no heroes, while Thanos is going to come to a world that is not defended. You know what I mean?
So what we're
the
looking
Avengers will be disassembled, you could say.
Yeah.
essentially what we're saying is 2 happens and it starts the whole phase 3 starts with Captain America 3 in the Civil War, right?
Yeah.
Everybody starts splintering. Avengers 3, it's Avengers disassembled, and leading up to the 4th movie, when Thanos finally shows up, they all have to reconcile and go up against him, which would
Yeah.
honestly make more sense at this point. Why not prolong Thanos if that's your long-term goal? Because they have no one bigger than him.
I think that's what one of the things was in the article I was reading by Variety. It was saying that Feige came up to like the president of like Disney or whatever, and he's saying that we can have, if we have this like the Civil War thing, it'll prolong it, and we can have Thanos even farther and just build it up maybe even more, and just have this like whole universe be a little bit longer, about like 7 years or something, 5. Yeah. Who knows?
Right. You know, it's funny. For the longest time, I know a lot of us were like, they'll never do Civil War. Come on, guys, that's a Joe dream. That's a reach. And then at this New York Comic Con, we got the news about them doing a second Civil War for the comics, and I'm like,
here's my thing. And I was looking at that. They're saying Civil War is coming back next year in comics, right? And they released the image of Cap and Tony fighting over Spider-Man.
So that whole Sony thing.
Now the whole Sony thing comes into play. Yeah. What if this is what they're working out? What if Sony does appear in this? Sony does come with the backing of Spider-Man, and he will once again be one of the focal characters like he was in the comics.
Avi Arad would be part of that because Spider-Man's a big part of Civil War.
But I would say, I could see that like Avi Arad saying, Spider-Man has to be the big part, but what if the whole working is Spider-Man will show up in it, but won't be the main focal point? It'll be Cap and Iron Man, but Spider-Man will be there maybe to do the last type of thing. Like
they're fighting for the soul of Spider-Man, essentially, and fighting for the young people of this new superhero universe. Like Spider-Man could represent all the new street level people.
I could see that, especially since he's going to be a teenager. I'm pretty sure he might be the only teenager. If like they work it out and everything, I'm pretty sure he's going to be the only teenager.
Right. And I hope so. If it's true that they are in fact, going to be reworking the Sinister Six, which of course they have Drew Goddard, who is very close to Joss, and he was spearheading the whole Daredevil and shared universe for Netflix. Everything seems to be lining up pretty damn nicely for them.
Almost too well, in a way.
Right.
Yeah, like nobody expected it, and that's good because I didn't want to expect it, really. I wanted to be surprised, and I was surprised. I didn't think they were going to do Civil War.
Yeah, like, that's the thing you can say about Marvel is, like, just when we think that, we've got our fingers on the pulse, just when we think we know what's going to happen, you don't know shit, motherfucker. Civil
War. One of the things that automatically hit me, right, it's... let's say you do this, Captain America, obviously Iron Man, he's going to be in Captain America 3. Mm-hmm. That right there earns you way more money right now than Avengers 1 ever did. And Marvel was saying, we're standing our ground, we're confident with going up versus Batman v Superman. Maybe they knew this all along. That's why they've been,
that's the rumor now. That's the hot new conspiracy theory.
Wait, what was it?
The conspiracy theory was that they were supposed to come out Batman v Superman and Cap 3 around the same time.
Yeah, they had
I remember that. But
and then Marvel was just kept saying, "We're not afraid. We have something that we're planning." And now it's like this comes out. It's like, was this your plan?
I still think it was for me. I still think it was the original that they were going to move so they can make more money. But this would be like a greater factor in it as well. I don't think it was the main factor. But
which is crazy to think that they could get their Versus movie out first, more or less.
And also, like, what was it? I forget. I was gonna say something. I forgot.
I was gonna say also too. It would be funny if you took a poll of kids nowadays and moviegoers nowadays to be like, "Hey, kids, who are you more interested to see fight each other? Iron Man and Captain America, or new Ben Affleck Batman and that Superman guy from before?"
I think they've been doing that poll since like forever. Like, who's
really?
And also, I think I saw some article were saying that the Russo brothers were saying that we have someone big in Captain America 3 and Robert Downey Jr. Who bigger? Robert Downey Jr.
There's talks now that apparently that the Russo brothers are eyeing Avengers 3 and 4.
Yeah,
I can see that.
That they've been cuddling up with the Marvel Disney people quite nicely.
When I look at this, right, and this past weekend is great to talk about because Robert Downey Jr.'s new movie came out. It ended third, and people are already seeing he's not the star. Iron Man is the star. They're going to see him as the star. He should be renegotiating because he knows he's not going anywhere if it's not for Iron Man anymore because his name's not carrying the weight. It's not.
That extra $50 million though, like I want to sign on for the extra $50 million.
Who wouldn't, right?
Who wouldn't? Like RDJ's like, hey, Marvel, Disney. I mean, I made my movie, but I really want to come back. How's it going? What's everybody doing?
What's up with you guys? I miss you so much. It's cold out here.
Woohoo! Hey, what's up, Chris?
Can I come back into the mouse house? It's cold out here.
This is kind of like one of the things is let's see, we're going to be looking at obviously Avengers 2's coming at us in like 6 months, right?
Hard to believe.
At the end of that movie, there could be the setup to this payoff where Captain America's in his face, be like, you always think you're so smart. Look at what you've done. You've caused the death of maybe this member or that member. You've given life to Jarvis, who's now inside of Vision's body. Like, there's all these new, miracles running around. There's vigilantes everywhere. Like, the world is clearly
you started
going to
all
be...
this, Tony.
Yeah, I think they've had that going on for a while too. Even in Avengers, like they're always going to be the opposite. They were always meant to be the opposites.
They were red and blue, quite literally.
Yeah, basically.
Hot and cold, conservative and liberal,
One's serious and one's like doesn't really care. One wants to save people. One wants to do it sometimes for the fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's it's always going to be like that.
Which makes me think, too, that, when they say they're adapting Civil War, I don't think it's going to be a big, heroes fighting each other in the street. I think it's going to be more of a conflict between Cap and Iron Man.
And that's something I would want to see because that's going to be different. Like, what if you just see a lot of more drama? Yeah, there'll be action, but what if the drama is the main point of it?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I think that would be great. A nice little change.
Same here. And then, who knows what supervillain would want to come around in the meantime and capitalize on the heroes fighting with each other.
And who knows? I mean, RDJ was just a judge or a lawyer. So he might want to try to go to Cap and court. Is like, I actually want to see that. I want to see a court case between them.
This isn't Cap v Iron Man.
I still would want to see
Cap v Iron Man. They should just subtitle it that just to fuck with them.
Just to mess with people.
I hear the titles, though, was actually either Cap 3, of course, is going to be the front, either Civil War or Fallen Sun. At least that's what Faraci
I think
says.
Civil War is the marketable one.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I hope it's Civil War. Everyone will be using that image I made.
Yep.
Of course they will. You'll feel really good, man.
It'll be like Age of Ultron, all that.
Civil War is clearly the one to go with because the marketing prints itself. One side Captain America, the other side is Iron Man. One beating the other down. Like it's so marketable.
You could have 2 different posters with each hero, and the tagline could be "Pick your side." This summer.
Right.
What's weird is you have 2 heroes and 2 from movies from DC and Marvel, and one's pick your side, and then you have the whole pick your side in Marvel and DC. It's what do you have to keep picking sides from picking sides?
Always.
You have to continue to pick sides
always.
Joe. I'm just moving to Canada, Joe.
Much like how they did it with that fucking Twilight movie, there was the 2 teams. It's like no, this is universal. Everybody's gonna be seeing these fucking movies. If Avengers was any proof that everybody saw that freaking thing. So
and you see, here's the thing: the more I think about it, the more I'm actually on board for a Civil War type setup because we've gotten to see the heroes as friends through so much of this now.
Right.
And now it's like the honeymoon's over.
What if it's also they're banking on the possibility that Fantastic Four could fail? You prolong shit more, so then you can have Thanos, and after him, we could have more heroes down the line, such as Fantastic Four.
What if in the new Civil War? I mean, what if Fantastic Four are not in it? Maybe the X-Men could be in it. I mean, what if they're not? Because the whole.
Never happen.
Okay, that's true. I'm just saying.
The X-Men are off doing their own thing now, but hey, we could have Inhumans by then. Who knows?
Oh yeah, Inhumans totally.
Inhumans. Humans have a better story. I say. That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
So are we
Joe
all
shooting off?
Kind of excited. I think we're all saying this would be great if played right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yet again, and I feel we say this every time when Marvel does something ballsy. This is a gamble.
But all their gambles have paid off so far. So
yeah, so I mean, history is definitely on their side, but at the same time, too, law of averages says they're gonna have to fuck one of these up at some point.
Can they do friggin' Emily Olsen? Can they fuck her? Maybe I'm just doing the XX parody. Oh.
Yeah.
Joe's head. It's if we're fucking people up.
I just do the XX parody.
I know some people I'd like to fuck up.
So
it's gonna be great.
Yeah, guys. That was our discussion. You've heard what we've had to say. Let us know in the comments. What do you want to see from this? Who do you hope shows up? What do you think the storyline is going to be? Where did they take it from here? How far does this thing go? Because by the sounds of it, they have pretty much the next decade of movies if this happens planned out. So
I just want Cap to tell Iron Man that he's a douche because he is.
Oh yeah.
I just want that.
Well, I've gone on record many a time. I fucking hate Iron Man, so not the movies, not the movies. I fucking love the movies. I just hate the character, so.
But he's a lovable asshole, Armin, like me.
Well, then I hate you too.
Well, that I know. That's well documented.
And we all know Joel loves assholes, so.
Oh, Matt
true.
wins this discussion. Shit.
So thank you for joining us, everybody, and let us know your thoughts and comments down below.
Hey guys, Joel here reminding you that this video was made possible thanks to our many great patrons. If you want to become a patron and get exclusive comic book cast content, then click the Patreon link below and see how you can help us bring you the content you've come to love. Every little bit helps, and thanks for listening.